Welcome to Halifax and inside the Scotia Bank Center for Halifax Hurricane basketball on Halifax Hurricane TV. Tonight, the Hurricanes welcome in for the first time the St. John Riptide. Good evening. Vince Williams on hand alongside Matt Elliott.
Hello.
It's the first time tonight, Matt, the St. John Riptide come in against this Halifax team that's a different Halifax team 2 games ago with the emergence of 2 signings. A returner from last year's championship run in Ramel Brown and a former MVP, a guy that's done everything in this league, Gabe Freeman.
Yeah, 2 huge signings for Halifax. Ramel Brown, fans are happy to see him back. He had a great season for Halifax last year, especially down the stretch. And Gabe Freeman, I mean, you said it, that's a guy that absolutely does everything. That 2011-12 season we'll talk about a little bit later. He was fantastic that year.
So we're underway here at the Scotiabank Center. The aforementioned Freeman comes up with the tip. Clint Scales, the Kindred to the cup, and it's knocked out of Kindred, loses the handle, and that's a turnover on the first possession. The East Link starters for the Hurricanes, it's Kindred, Freeman, Brown, Clint Scales, and Poole. Hesitation there. And a rejection off the rim there by Freeman. A reset though. Morty for 3, and he drains it.
Morty can score.
Riptide will go with early Arrington, Osei, Morty, and Phillips. Both of these teams looking for their first victory of the season. Hurricanes come in tonight's matchup 0-2. The Riptide 0-1. Freeman for 3. It's no good. Rebound by Osei. Kemi thought about it. Back to Morty. Morty to the rim, left hand, and he banks it in.
Nice take.
So Jeremiah Morty's got all 5 points here in the early going for the Riptide. Freeman, that jumper's short. Phillips with the rebound in transition. Here's Arrington. Arrington thought about it. Chris Surley to the rim, right hand's no good. Came up short there for Brett Arrington. Freeman again almost steps on the end line, and he's 0 for 3 in his Hurricane debut.
Trying to
Morty
make a splash early.
Absolutely. And Morty throws it away as he tried to find Chris early on the sideline. So it's 5-0. It's up and down. Gabe Freeman with some good looks in the half court, unable to put the first shot down. But you got to think that Freeman's going to do his damage here, and he's had some outstanding basketball games in the opposition colors.
Yeah, definitely. And when we were talking to Coach earlier before the game, I think that the way he described it was best is instant offense. You're getting a guy like Gabe Freeman can score pretty much at will when he gets hot.
Clint Scales for 3. He comes up short. Rebound by Arrington. Arrington in the open floor. Dribble handoff to Osei. Osei to the rim. Kick out Morty. Thought about it. Back to Osei. Shot clock under 10. And that's a nice floating jump shot there by Kemi. So the Riptide off to a 7-0 run here. Hurricanes looking for their first points of the contest. Poole now. Clint Scales inside the Freeman. That's picked off by Early. And another empty trip down the floor for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, having a little trouble early offensively are the Canes.
Phillips now. He kicks it out early for 3. And he drains it, and that's 10-0 for the Riptide. So not the start that the Hurricane faithful expected here.
Definitely not.
Poole, he'll put it up for three. That's too strong, and rebound by Early. Osei now off the pick and roll. Inside the Phillips. He can't handle it. Ramel scoops it up. Clint Scales in the open floor. Kindred to Freeman, but Kindred's called for the charge as Chris Early steps in and sacrifices the body, so no basket. And another turnover for the Hurricanes.
Halifax can't buy a break so far on offense in this one.
So that's Joel's first, team's first. Morty kicks it out for Early for three. That's short. Rebound by Kindred. Hurricanes looking to push. Riptide get back in transition. Here's Poole. He'll put up the three. That rattles in and out. Rebound by Early. Arrington now looking to push in transition. Morty, he swings it to Osei. Inside to Phillips. Phillips, that's no good.
Good job of Brown to get over. Phillips was wide open there for a second.
Great rotation there by Ramel. Freeman now trying to go to work one-on-one, and that goes up and it goes in. Can't give Gabe Freeman that much space, and he's not going to miss all night.
No, and he's not a guy who gets, he doesn't get frustrated by missing shots. He misses 3-4 in a row, doesn't frustrate him. He's going to keep going to the basket.
Freeman with the first 2 points this season as a member of the Hurricanes. He's 1 for 4 from the field. Opportunity now. Ramel inside. Backing down Phillips, left hand, and he banks it in.
Could see that one coming, using that big body to give himself some space. Great turnaround.
So it's a 6-point deficit for the Hurricanes now. Early on the drive. That tough shot forced by Freeman. Hurricanes out in the open floor. Kindred can't get the layup to go. Morty now in transition, and he's fouled by Mike Poole.
It looked like Kindred was expecting just a little bit more contact from Osei than he actually got. Osei actually took a step back, and which ended up with Kindred having a little bit more momentum going to the rack than he expected. Of course, had too much strength on that layup.
So a plethora of substitutions for the Riptide, almost a wholesale of substitutions. We'll get them in a second. For the Hurricanes, it looks like Malcolm DeVivier's in for the first time, along with Jordan Washington. Here's Marvin Binney. He's checked in for the first time. Ronaldo Dixon as well. Dingle to Dixon for three. That's short. Early for three, and 3 up, 3 down. So 2 for 3 from beyond the arc as a team are the Riptide. And it's a 9-point lead.
Halifax only 2 of 9 so far to start the game. A little bit cold, unable to take advantage of a lot of misses from St. John as well. They're only 5 of 12.
So foul on Chris Early. That's his first, team's first. Timeout on the floor. So as you mentioned before the timeout was called, man, ice cold are the Hurricanes. Can't afford to get behind too early here, as they're still in search of trying to find a go-to guy offensively in game number 3.
Yeah, that's right. Halifax very much a team trying to find their identity still, right? They've a couple new ads, almost a brand new team to start the season, so still looking for their identity, still looking for that guy to go to. They've got some options, right? They've got Gabe Freeman, they've got Joel Kindred, so it's just a matter of who's going to step up and who's going to be the guy that can run that offense through on a consistent basis.
So the Riptide shooting 42%. They're 5 of 12 from the field, a 3 of 5 Correction of that from downtown. Hurricanes struggling from beyond the arc, 0-4. As Mike Leslie continuing to tinker a little bit with his lineup. And as you mentioned, we had an opportunity to speak with Coach Leslie before the game. And he just talked about bringing in veteran leadership, a guy that's returning to the fold and knows what's expected of him. And then you have the outstanding all-star in Gabe Freeman.
Yep. And
his resume, to the fans out there that are unfamiliar of who Gabe Freeman is, it's outstanding. In 2011, 2012, he was the finals and regular season MVP. First team all NBL, first team all defense, first team all playoff.
he was all world.
All world, and he won the championship with the London Lightning. So if there is a guy that can turn things around and get them pointing in the right direction, Gabe Freeman is one of those pieces that Mike Leslie can depend on.
Yep, and you know, Coach also said they've only had a chance to get one practice, but they're still going to lean on him pretty hard because he's got that experience in that pedigree, right?
And they're going to take it one step at a time, keeping it simple. Washington's hook shot's no good. Rebound by Osei. Osei now, hesitation. Osei step back for three. That's a tough shot forced there by Poole. Rebound by DeVivier. Clint Scales behind the back. Freeman thought about it. Now he'll try it. Three up and three down.
That looked real good from where we were sitting, Vince.
Good rhythm there by Gabe as he was able to knock down his first three ball. He's got five now.
So despite their offensive struggles, Halifax still staying in this one, keeping on them early. Nice D. Ooh.
Binney is fouled on his way to the rim. Definitely in the act of shooting. He'll go to the line for the first time for two. And it looks like the foul call is on Jordan Washington. That's his first.
You see in the
Team's
replay
third.
there, just got enough of the reach in.
That rattles in and out. Marvin tallied 6 points in that 96-95 defeat versus the Island Storm. And he goes 0 for 2 in his first trip, but an offensive rebound by Ronaldo Dixon. And that's one thing Ronaldo can do.
Oh, yeah.
He can rebound the basketball. Binney now again to the cup. No good. That was bothered there by Freeman. Clint Scales in transition. To Washington. He goes hard
Nice
and he
Washington.
banks it in. So the first attempt by Washington couldn't get the touch around the rim, but in transition he was able to convert.
Yeah, he was going in with a lot of momentum there. He's a strong basketball player, so good take by him.
Binney turns it over. Good strip there by Freeman. Clint Scales now. To Washington. He spins and he spins right into the chest of Bartley, and that's an offensive foul on Jordan. Joel Kindred checks in. Freeman, a quick conversation, the veteran to the rookie there.
Yeah.
Words of encouragement.
Give him a little help. Washington obviously frustrated, didn't think he had that, didn't think he should have got called, sorry.
So Jordan's
that
got
charge.
2 personals, and that's the fourth team. Bartley for 3, and he knocks it down.
It was a problem we saw in our first game that we called here, Vince. Halifax had a lot of problems, especially those big guys with fouls. 2 of them fouled out. One relatively early. Halifax got to try to keep that in check this game.
So the Riptide 4 of 7 from beyond the arc as a team in this first quarter. Freeman to the rim. That comes up short. Osei with the rebound. Another 3, and that's a tough shot forced by Washington. Washington in transition, fakes, and he's fouled from behind. And that'll be on Dingle. Dingle picks up his first personal, team second.
See the replay, the up fake. Good job. the trail man able to get just enough of him.
As Darnell Landon checks in for the first time. And Kemi Osei will go to the bench. Washington hits the first. 6'8" from Iona. Can't get the second. That's tapped around. Finally corralled by Dixon. Binney now off the pick and roll. Dixon running to the rim and count it. No, wave it off. One official had it an offensive foul, while the other on the baseline had it a charge. So tonight's officials, Bryan States, Paul DeBailey, and the crew chief, Brent Stocker. Brent down on the baseline. Called that one off, man.
Yeah, it looked almost like a travel too from where I was, but either way, worked out in Halifax's favor. Great pass.
DeVivier, count it and one. Good backdoor cut off the screen. Moving without the basketball was Malcolm, and he was able to convert through the contact.
See the replay here. The nice dish, yeah, great backdoor cut and a good finish. Strong player. He's a sturdy built guy, is DeVivier. Hard to knock him off.
Good look there.
And he completes a three-point.
By Washington, but too much time and space given up by Dixon. As DeVivier from the University of Akron, a zip.
The zips.
And that shot is short by Bartley. Back the other way. Clint Scales, Kindred for three.
There we go.
And he knocks it down in space.
Just like that, we got a tie game, Vince.
The Hurricanes come all the ways back, and that forces a timeout by Nelson Taroba. And he wants to make some adjustments here as the Hurricanes were down early in this one, Matt. Got off to a 10-0 start to the Riptide, and since then, since that timeout, below the 7-minute mark, Mike Leslie's club turned around the ship.
Yeah, they're doing great, and you know that early lead for St. John came largely off of how well they were shooting a three-point ball. You know, they're still shooting pretty good. They're 4 of 8 right now, so they were able to get up to an early lead. That's the key word, though, early. But Halifax sticking with it, playing hard ball. And like I said, it's going to take them a little bit to figure out what works here. You know, what sets are going to work for them. So still a lot of basketball left. We got ourselves a tie game.
Now when you bring in new pieces, you try to keep things simple, and especially with limited time practices. Practices are very important at every level, especially on the professional level when you have new pieces coming in that are not too familiar with the professional game. You got to make sure that those practices are used to a point where there's intricacies of the game of pro basketball and college implemented. So Gabe Freeman leading the way for the Hurricanes with 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting. 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Chris Early leads the way for the Riptide. He's got 6. 2 for 4 from the field. And he's 2 for 3 from downtown. So a timeout called by Nelson Taroba. Trying to make some adjustments here. Hurricanes fought all the ways back, tied up at 16 apiece. 2:36 remaining in the opening quarter. Good crowd on hand here at Scotiabank Center on a frigid night in Halifax.
Yeah, it's freezing. So good on those fans for getting out tonight.
Arrington now. Dixon. Spin to the basket. Diston loses the handle. Kindred in transition. Kindred, he's denied. As Dingle did a good job just standing his ground there, not forcing the issue. Last touch by Dingle, and it will remain Hurricane possession as Clint Scales will inbound on the baseline.
Again, Washington showing those quick hands under the basket to force that turnover, get Halifax the ball. Nice ball movement.
Kindred for 3, and he knocks it in. Good swing for Joel, and Joel was able to get that one to go down on 2 of 4 shooting. He's got 6 now.
Yeah, Darnell Landon gave him just a little bit too much room there. He was able to finish that, no problem.
Hurricanes take their first lead of the game. Arrington with the floater, and that goes down.
It was a pretty play, had to force the defender back, had to choose to either defend the floater or leave the man open under the rim. Defender went to the big man, and Harrington sunk the floater. It was a pretty ball.
Kindred now. DeVivier thought about it. He'll swing at the Clinkscales. 5 seconds to shoot. DeVivier puts it from way out, and that's too strong. Rebound by Bartley. Harrington. And going strong to the rim and drawing the foul is Dingle. And he'll go to the line to shoot two.
Tough defense by Kindred. Was on him the whole way, right in his back pocket, or his hip pocket, I should say. Check the replay of this. Kindred with him the whole way. Just enough body as he goes up. Kindred didn't like it either way.
So Joel picks up his second personal. Dingle hits the first, and checking in the game for the first time is Kadar Edwards for the Hurricanes. He goes 1 for 2 as Dingle. And we're back to a 19-point tie here. Under a minute to go in the opening period, quarter. DeVivier. Poole. He's got to shoot it, and he drops it.
Pretty.
Good pull up there by Poole as he was able to gain some spacing there with the tricky dribble.
Yeah. Still waiting for Poole to have that breakout game offensively. You know we can do.
Shot clock down to 10. 5 seconds to shoot. Here's Harrington.
Tight defense.
He's tied up by DeVivier, and he gets it to go down.
Nothing you can do about that. That was great defense by DeVivier.
DeVivier's got to hurry now. He's got to force a shot up here. DeVivier gets to the rim. Tip is no good by Poole, and that'll do it. So after the end of one, we're all tied up at 21 apiece. It looked like it was some dire straits in the early going, Matt.
Yeah.
As the Riptide got off to a 10-0 start. But Mike Leslie made some adjustments, moved some pieces around, and they were able to get it to where we are now at 21 apiece.
Yeah, that's going to be the story of the game, I think, probably is the adjustments that do get made in this one. And you're right, yeah, it started to look a little bit dire. Didn't know what we're going to see, if it was going to be similar to, because Halifax has had a rough couple first games, let's be honest, right? So, but Halifax able to come out of that. They're at 21-21 right now, drawn even, and things are looking a little bit better than they did for the first 5 minutes, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You mentioned they got off to a rough start in this season, 0 for 2. The Hurricanes come in tonight. 2 losses versus the Moncton Magic, a 27-point average. And, they didn't shoot the lights out either. They shot 37% in those 2 games and 34% from downtown. Free throws at 60%.
Yeah.
That is a recipe of not winning many basketball games.
That's right.
However, an opportunity tonight, though, to turn things around.
Always.
As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us here on Hurricanes TV as they take on the St. John Riptide in game number 3. Tied up at 27 apiece. Alongside Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand, and the Silver Screen crew at the Scotiabank Center. But a lot can be said. I mean, a lot's going to be written here in this season. A little bit of a different format. Gone are the divisions. We have 10 teams, so we have even number of teams. So there will be an elimination process when it comes to the playoff format.
Yep.
As everybody doesn't make it in. So every night is going to be an important night in the 40-game regular season, Matt.
Yeah, that's right. When we were talking to Coach Joe there in our last broadcast, the quote that he had was, "It's got a long road to go, but a short time to do it," and that counts for every team, right? If you get off to a bad start, that's going to affect everything. It's not, you said it all there. I don't want to repeat what you said, but the different format makes it even more important now for those teams to come out and get it together as early as possible.
Yeah, they need to get it together quickly, and they can't wait till halfway through the season. So the second quarter underway here. Morty. And it looks like the Riptide go back to their original starting lineup. Phillips, right hand's no good.
Good positioning by Washington there.
The Vivier gives it to Poole. Into the game for the first time is another new acquisition. We can't forget about him, Robinson Opong. Opong from Rogers State University.
Puts up a 3 early. No good.
Arrington, blow by,
wow.
left hand, and he gets the finger roll to go down.
That was quick. It was a slick move to get by Washington there. It was after that, wide open to the basket.
The Vivier and Washington. That's saved by Osei, and Washington try to save it again, and he's down.
Good effort.
He looks like he's in some discomfort. The bench is kind of short tonight for Mike Leslie.
That's right.
Tyrone Watson unable to go.
The big piece, missing the big piece. You see the replay here. See if you can see what happened. Bounced it off, one's expected. Good hustle, goes for it.
Yeah, almost
Hits
gave
the
up
ground
on
pretty
it.
hard. I'm not too sure if he hit his head or what, but
so he'll be assessed. He'll come out, and Ramel Brown will come back in. Arrington now. Dribble handoff to Morty. Inside the early to the rim. Off the glass, no good. Opong thought about it. The Vivier, he'll put it up for 3, and he knocks it in. Good catch and shoot there by Malcolm as he caught it in rhythm. And he's able to knock down his first 3 ball of the evening.
I think Halifax hit all their 3-pointers from this corner here, Vince.
Throws that away there. Yeah. That's another turnover for the Riptide.
Maybe 6 for them.
Poole. Brown trying to back down Phillips, spins, and
There
good
you
soft
go.
touch around the rim there for Ramel.
Tell you what, the fans were happy to see him come back today when they announced his name in the starting lineup. He got a pretty heavy applause from the fans that are here.
A very important piece down the stretch was Ramel Brown.
He was huge.
Zerly was able to get that spin move to go down. Brown played 56 games last season, started 33,
Yep.
and that's the key point. When he was coming off the bench, he was a little bit ineffective, but when he started in that lineup, he gave him the element of rebounding and toughness around the rim defensively.
Yeah.
As Poole's able to knock down that jump shot. Shot 61% from the field. He averaged 8 points and 8 rebounds.
Yeah. I'm not too sure how many blocks he averaged a game, but he always had, it seemed to me, at least when he started, he always had at least a couple a game.
Well, he had a record in the playoffs at one point, back-to-back.
You're right.
For block shots.
Yep, he had a fantastic season. And he was important for them last year when they lost C.J. Washington to that injury.
Stepped up.
He stepped up and he played fantastic basketball.
Osei checking back in. 8 seconds to shoot. Here's Morty to the rim, left hand, and he gets it done.
Morty's a guy that you can't give too much room. The guy that averaged 18 points a game last year. He can score.
Yeah, he can definitely fill it up. Ando checking in for the first time for the Hurricanes. His first 3 attempts no good. Morty again to the rim, left hand. That's bothered though by Ando. Rebound by Phillips, knocked away. Here comes Opong in transition. Opong will hold it. Canes will get into their half-court set. The Vivier steps into a 3. 3 up, 3 down. Back-to-back threes there by Malcolm the Vivier.
Don't give him space. He hit that from way out, too.
The man from Akron, the zipping in his second 3. But answering right back is Kemi Osei. Can't sleep on Kemi. He can get it done from beyond the arc.
Yes, he can.
And it's a 1-point game in favor of the Hurricanes.
I believe Osei played with the Island Storm last year.
And a very good season with the Storm. Edwards now hesitation.
Nice pass.
Browns try to get the floater to go in. And here's Morty. Morty with the pull-up three. That's too strong. Rebound by Arrington. Kicked out to Osei again. And bang, he knocks down that from the same spot. He told you he's dangerous from beyond the arc.
Yes, sir.
And that's back-to-back 3 balls for Kemi. He's got 8 on 3 or 4 shooting. Opong is fouled from behind by Osei. His first personal, team's first. Clint Scales will check in. Malcolm DeVivier will go to the bench, but DeVivier gave them a lift off the bench. 3 for 5 from the field. He's got 9 points, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and a nice 3-point hoop in the harm play early on in the first quarter. Playing good basketball for them is the man from Toronto.
Freeman checks in again. Good look from downtown for Robinson. That's too strong. He's still looking for his first points as a member of the Hurricanes.
I'll be interested to see how many minutes Freeman and Brown get. I'm not sure what their conditioning levels are at, as they were just added. Not knowing where they may have been playing basketball all offseason overseas for all I know.
And the putback is good for Dingo. I had a conversation with Freeman before the game. I asked him about his fitness. He says he's ready to go. He says he's always prepared, and that's what a pro does.
Yeah, especially at these levels. You'd be signing a contract at any time, right?
As Dingo completes the 3-point play, and it's a 5-point lead for the Riptide. Clint Scales trying a 2-man game with Freeman. Freeman battling with Dingo, and the pull-up is there for Opong.
First 2 points is the Halifax Hurricane.
It's a nice-looking jump shot, as he was able to get by his defender, and a good pull-up. Another guy with limited practice time.
That's right.
Opong with the rejection, and he throws that into the first row.
Yes, he did. Brett Arrington's having a solid game so far. He's been able to get space, but not from Opong.
Denied there as we have a timeout on the floor. It's a 3-point lead for the Riptide. It's been back and forth in this quarter. But if you are a Halifax fan, you got to like what you see. You got 3 new pieces in, and those 3 new pieces are making contributions with limited practices.
Yep, that's right.
1 to be exact. So if you're Mike Leslie, you got to be happy with what you see, because it only can get better as we move forward.
Yeah, no doubt Coach Leslie is happy, but not surprised as well, because as you spoke to at the beginning of the broadcast, Vince, these aren't just anybody. These are quality players with some experience in the league and have played at a high level. So Coach will be relying on them more than he would probably, a newcomer that had just signed off the street.
So timeout on the floor.
Throwing T-shirts out.
Yes, it's definitely fan-friendly. We mentioned it several times. This is our 3rd year together, Matt, and this is a huge atmosphere, fan-friendly, and it's family-friendly, especially on Sunday matinees.
Yeah, that's right. And then, the Hurricanes have for years been kind of pressing that. You get the kids in, you got to bring the parents, and the kids become fans for life, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why it's so important here in Halifax for them to really emphasize the family atmosphere, get the kids out, get everyone out. That's why at halftime you'll see the kids. There's always a game at halftime with the little ones. That's what it is here in Halifax, playing basketball.
You build that element, and it looks like the floss has returned as well with the kids. Yeah, they'll never give that up, as you can see. A few of those fans dancing in the aisles.
Yeah, never any shortage of that.
So the timeout over. Hurricanes trailing by 3. 5:59 remaining in the second quarter. Arrington will inbound. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Picked off by Brown as he gets a hand in there, and Dixon with the desperation dive to try to knock it away from Brown, and he's called for the reach.
Nice defense there by Halifax to get that possession back.
And that's what you want to see coming out of a timeout, especially when you're defending. You don't want to give up any easy hoops.
Yeah.
And you want to make it tough on the opposition.
Yeah, and as the other coach, I mean, it's frustrating to come out of a timeout with an inbounds and to cough up the ball. That's the last thing you want to happen, quite obviously.
Definitely looking for that execution. Freeman, 7 seconds to shoot. Freeman puts it up for three. That's too strong. Rebound by Arrington. Here's Arrington. He pulls up, looking to play a two-man game with him and Dixon. Kick out Morty for three. That's too strong. Arrington, though, with the tap in.
Nice crash by number 4.
Yeah, Brett Arrington not blocked out there, and he gets to the rim. As you mentioned before the timeout, Arrington has been able to get to the rim off the dribble, but that time moving out the basketball was able to put that tip in.
Yep, good, a high-energy player is Arrington. And if you're going to crash, it pays off. Vince, I don't know. Halifax doesn't look like they're running a lot of drawn-up sets right now on offense. Looks like Coach Leslie's kind of giving them free reign to give them a little bit of liberty and freedom to see what works offensively.
Absolutely. As Clint Scales will put up that three,
there we
he
go.
knocks it in. That was a tough shot. Shot clock was under 10. It was dwindling. And then Clint Scales able to knock down his first three.
The captain.
So it's a 2-point game now. Benny checking back in for the Riptide. Here's Morty. Morty to the rim. He turns it over. Transition. Freeman one-on-one. Freeman to the cup. Short. Left it short at the rim. Now Morty in transition one-on-one against Brown in space. Kick out. Punt fake. Bartley for three. That's too strong. Rebound by Opong.
And credit to the St. John defenders on that Freeman take to not foul him, but still get in his head enough to keep him from putting that in.
Freeman can't get that one to go down.
Quick pace now.
In transition, Dingle, he turns it over. Here's Freeman back the other way. Canes have numbers.
Nice
Edwards,
step.
nice Euro step, left hand, and banks it in.
That was just about one of the prettiest Euro steps I've seen in a couple seasons.
It looked like he might have had a little bit of a false step on the second step he came through, but he was able to gather himself and convert. He's knocked to the floor by Dixon. 3 balls going up. That's short. Rebound by Brown. Here's Clint Scales now. He'll slow it up. Back to a 38-point tie here. Opong, he steps into a three. That's short. Rebound by Benny. Man, Robinson, he's not shy to put it up, is he, Matt?
He took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, he's not intimidated at all. Trying to mark his spot here in Halifax.
Benny, that's too strong. Rebound. That's in and out. As Dingle can't get that one to fall. Both teams are firing away from beyond the arc tonight. Clint Scales to the rim. Kick out to Opong, swings it. Freeman down low. Edwards and one. Count it.
Very nice finish by Edwards there. And a great pass.
Great decision there on the rotation by Gabe Freeman.
See the replay here.
So it won't count, though, as the crew chief, Brent Stocker, calls it off, but it looked like continuation to me. And
me too. Especially
replay.
considering some of the continuation we saw in the last broadcast. But that's why we're sitting here not wearing the black patent leather shoes.
And I'm happy to be sitting right here next
sir.
to you.
Me too.
Clint Scales now freezes.
Uh-oh.
He turns it over. Good hand there by Osei, but good defender play by Edwards temporarily. Morty with the left hand. That was a tough attempt. He was looking for a foul, but he's got to get around the long wingspan of Gabe Freeman.
That's right. And you know, had Freeman got more of a piece of him there. Oh, here's we see the steal, and this one's going to be easy.
Left hand's good. And Mike Leslie calls a timeout here with 2:20 remaining
Probably
in
not
the
a bad
second
idea.
quarter.
That last few minutes look kind of wild, with Mr. Toe's wild ride there. So probably a good idea of Coach Leslie to call a timeout, slow things down a little bit. Okay.
And what is this?
This is
dance
new.
cam is this something new from last season? Do we miss this? Is this a new element?
This certainly isn't from last season. They must have done this one up on the fly because he just got here.
That was quite the dance moves there Ramel was pulling off there, but here we go. There it is.
There we go.
The team of flossing. I'm not sure what that one is, but nevertheless, getting back to the game. Timeout called on the floor here by Leslie. Want to talk it over, and you mentioned it. Back and forth, got sloppy there for a point for these two teams, and you don't want to see this if you're a professional coach. You'll expect, ball security from your professionals and making sure that they take care of the basketball and get quality chances either in transition or their half-court sets.
That's right, and with a young team, with a new team, a game can get out of hand real quick if you don't get on top, if you don't call that timeout and slow things down for them. And he said it when we spoke to him. His plan is to keep it simple.
Absolutely.
And I expect, I fully expect that he's going to stick to that. But yeah, you gotta slow things down. You gotta get guys' heads back into it and make sure they're running whatever sets you are running, that they're going back to them on a regular basis.
And it's not like they're turning the ball over at a
that's right,
prolific rate. They only have 5 turnovers.
That's right,
compared to the 9 committed by the Riptide.
Yep, it's been a relatively disciplined basketball game so far for Halifax.
So one possession game. Riptide up. Clint Scales out of the timeout. Nice freeze, left hand, and he gets that one to go down. Man, that was a beautiful hesitation. And we talked about it all season long last year. As Clint Scales able to get to the rim, especially when he pulls that freeze about 16 feet out.
Yeah, and that's his primary weapon, and he's the only guy that can do it with that kind of efficiency in this league so far that I've seen.
And he's usually pulled out when the shot clock is dwindling.
That's right.
Here's Osei. That's a tough shot attempt there, forced by Poole. Hurricanes have numbers. Clint Scales will wait. We've had multiple ties and lead changes in this ball game. Ando, dribble handoff. Poole kicks it to Clint Scales. He decides to get to the rim, and banks it in, and gets the N1.
Great decision by Mike Poole.
Even better decision by Clint Scales, not settling for the 3 and getting to the rack.
See the replay here. The up fake by Poole, kicks it to Clint Scales. Great job, and look at that. Good job of using his body and using the left hand. Kids, you're watching at home. That's how you get yourself the hoop and the harm.
So Clint Scales will go to the line to complete the 3-point play. That comes up short. Hurricanes take the lead though. Here's Early. Hands it off to Arrington, back to Early. Early will put it up, and he puts it in. Good looking half-court set there, 2-man game.
That's right, nothing
with Arrington and Early. Nothing fancy there.
But it works.
Kindred. Under 10 seconds to shoot. Ando, back to Kindred. He's got to hurry. Crosses over. Arrington gets to the rim. Can't get it to go down. Rebound by Early. Arrington back the other way in transition. Dixon, and he's able to get that one to go down.
It's too much length for Clint Scales to contest that without hacking him. Smart decision by
Looked like he almost ran out of road there, but he was able to gather himself. Hurricanes will hold for the last shot. Difference of 2 seconds on the game clock and shot clock. Poole wanted to catch and shoot it, but he turns it over. Osei back the other way. Osei's bumped by Ando, and he puts up the shot. He'll go to the line to shoot too. That's not a bad foul transition by Ando, though.
No, not at all. I mean, at this point of the game, Ando's not in foul trouble. Team's not. I mean, you only got a couple seconds left anyway. Why not? Give him a hard time.
Make him earn it at the free throw line.
That's right.
Kemi's first trip of the evening. And
There you
he
go.
misses.
Paid off.
So Nelson Taroba looking to get multiple substitutions here with 2.3 seconds remaining. Kemi goes 1 for 2. So Early will come out along with Dixon. Dingo and Phillips will check in. Ando will inbound. Clint Scales will force one up, and he almost gets that one to drop. So that'll do it after 24 minutes. It's a 3-point lead for the Riptide, Matt.
Yep, not a high-scoring game, but at the same time, it's a game as if I'm Coach Leslie, given the changes that I've got, given the way the last 2 games have gone, you got to think he's going to this half feeling pretty good about the half that they played with this game, going into the second one. There's a lot of positives to take from that.
So stay with us. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the halftime report. It's the Riptide lead by 3, 45-42 over the Halifax Hurricanes. You are watching Halifax Hurricanes basketball on the Hurricanes TV network. Riptide. Vince Williams and Matt Elliott on hand here at Scotiabank Center. After 24 minutes, Hurricanes trail by 3. We're starting the third quarter here. Hurricanes with possession. Coming back the other way, and that's rejected. Morty now. Morty to the rim. He kicks it out. Arrington for 3. That's no good. Phillips with the rebound. The putback's too strong. Thought he got bumped there. And a race for the loose ball. And Early and Brown, and that's last touch by the Riptide.
You see the replay here. Nice block there by Mike Poole.
So both teams go with their original starting lineup. Brown, Kindred on the swing, and he banks it in.
Great first step by Kindred. Man, that was quick. Just
Great
blew by the defender.
Great ball movement there, as you mentioned. He didn't waste any time getting to the rim. Early now. Trying to back down Freeman, and Freeman pulled the chair out.
Sure did.
On Early.
Great defense there. Veteran defense.
So the early going here in the third. Hurricanes trail by 1. Clinkscales for 3. That's no good. Rebound by Phillips. Good ball movement and rotation. Got a good shot attempt out of that half-court set. Clinkscales unable to put it down. Morty draws a double team as Brown was able to get his hand in there defensively. He knocks it out of bounds. Early, he'll put it up for 3.
Wide open.
No good, rebound by Poole. Kindred for 3, bang, he knocks it in rhythm.
Put that up quick.
So Joel able to get things going here in the early going of the third. He's got 11 now on 4 of 7 shooting. Is Joel, the man from St. Augustine's College.
We spoke a little bit earlier about who was going to be that guy that Halifax could rely on to score. Kindred's one of the candidates, right? He's been right up there in every game so far for Halifax.
And that's a tough shot forced by Clinkscales. Kemi Osei able to drop it down though.
Having a great game is Osei.
3-ball, bang, and knocking it right back down the other way is Gabe Freeman, and he catches and shoots it. Osei, though, trying to answer from beyond the arc. Kindred, he'll put it up again, and he rattles it in. And that forces a timeout call on the floor by Nelson Taroba. He saw enough.
The kick over there. Quick release by Kindred.
That's the first one.
Behind the back to Freeman. Beautiful shot.
That's the second.
Let's see if we can get the other one. Kindred has some space, and
that's the third.
There you go.
3 balls in a row. Exploding. Are the Hurricanes off to a 9-0 run, all coming by way of shots from beyond the arc.
I think it's 11 to, what do we got here? They had 20 foot. We got 11-2 run to start. Doing my math here, folks. I had to take my shoes off to count.
So Kindred leading the way with 14 points on 5 of 8 shooting, and he is perfect from beyond the arc. And he's getting it going offensively.
Looking fantastic as
It's
Halifax.
the rookie. So that's the start that Mike Leslie was looking for, Matt.
Definitely,
and that's not the start that Nelson Taroba was looking for after going into the halftime break.
Definitely not.
Leading by 3.
That's right. And I was looking at the stats, Vince, in the halftime, and one a stat that kind of snuck up on me. I don't know if you noticed it, but I certainly didn't. It was quiet. Halifax really getting out-rebounded in this one, and specifically on the offensive glass. If I look at it here, it's 11-2 right now for St. John Riptide. So if you've got that kind of a differential, and it's resulted in a 14-3 difference for the Riptide in second chance points, and yet Halifax has the lead. So this, that's obviously got to be a little bit frustrating if you're the coach grabbing all those offensive boards. You're getting those second chance points. So good on Halifax to stay in this game However, that's not a recipe for success moving forward. Halifax is going to want to crash the boards and assert themselves a lot more. If you remember the team last year, it was very rare that Halifax didn't out-rebound their opposing team, especially on the offensive glass.
And the three-point percentage and the shooting has definitely improved. As they struggled in the first quarter.
Oh, wow. Big
now
time.
they're up to 9 of 22 from beyond the arc. That's at a 41% clip. Early with the inbound, lots of contact away from the ball on Arrington. Morty now trying to get it across the timeline. He does just before the violation, and the reach-in called on Brown. And actually it's called on Gabe Freeman. So Freeman will pick up the personal. It looked like they had Morty all handcuffed there.
They sure did. It was nice defense for Halifax coming off of that. With almost a full court press on them.
So that's Freeman's first, team's first.
Great inbounds.
Good backdoor cut off the screen, and banking it in is Kemi Osei. Osei has no fear. He is definitely a professional scorer, and he's been that one in this league. He's got 13 now. Freeman tries his hand from downtown again. That's no good.
Putting up a lot of shots is Freeman.
Early thought about it. Dribble hand off to Morty. Morty trying to get to the rim. That's a tough shot, and he gets it to drop.
Nice touch.
Morty able to float away from the outstretched arm of Joel Kindred. And Morty's got 7. Brown spins. Poole for 3. And he knocks it in. Man, that was lightning quick rotation there. The entry pass to Brown to kick out the Clinkscales. He wasted no time getting it over to Poole for the dagger.
Halifax doing a good job of moving that ball around the perimeter.
Early's fouled on his way towards the rim, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. That's Freeman's second, team second. So Early will shoot 2. His first trip to the charity stripe. He makes the first.
Halifax spreading the scoring out tonight.
And the man from Chattanooga makes both.
Kindred's got 14, but then you've got Duvalier with 9, Freeman with 8, Poole and Clinkscales with 7, Brown with 4. Everyone getting involved tonight.
So Osei will check out. And checking in for the first time in the second half is Frank Bartley. Poole's 3 ball won't go down. Morty now. Entry pass to Phillips. Phillips off to a slow start offensively. Tried to back down Brown, but that's what you get defensively by Brown. He doesn't give up many inches inside that painted area.
No, he does not. Not one to get pushed around underneath.
Second chance opportunity, and Mike Poole almost stepped in front of that.
Good job of
swing
Poole to get in the
pass.
passing lane.
It'll be 1 second on the shot clock as Early will inbound. Arrington forces up the 3, doesn't hit rim, so that'll be a shot clock violation. And that's the type of defensive series that Mike Leslie likes to hang his hat on.
Yeah,
he
definitely,
likes to see that on a more consistent rate. So Kadar Edwards will check in. Gabe Freeman will go to the bench. 3-point lead for the Hurricanes. It's been back and forth in this contest. 7 ties in the first 24 minutes and 5 lead changes. It's been that type of night. Might come down to the last possession to decide a winner. Here's Clinkscales. He drives to the rim and he is fouled. Bartley puts his hands in the sky and says, I didn't do it.
Phillips not happy either. I think he's the one going to get called for it, is he?
So Phillips will be called for the personal.
Let's see the replay here.
Yeah, Phillips reaching in with that left hand.
Yeah, he got him. Called it on the floor.
So Phillips will go to the bench. Arrington will check back. So a smaller lineup on the floor along with Ronaldo Dixon for Nelson Taroba. So it's a frustrating night for Phillips as he had 19 points in his debut for the Riptide versus the Island Storm.
Yeah, can't get it going today. Nice pass underneath.
That's a tough shot there forced by Ronaldo.
Poole looks like it hit in the mouth.
Bartley back the other way, and he barrels into Edwards. He draws the foul on Kadar. Kadar will pick up the personals, not in the act of shooting. That's his second, team's third.
Mike Poole looks like he might have been, he certainly took a shot to the face.
Early to the rim, early off the glass.
Nice help by Poole.
No good. Here's Kindred. Clinkscales will pull it out. ISO between him and Dixon. Swings at the Poole. Back the Clinkscales. Pull up from 16 feet. That's no good. Here's Bartley now in transition. They have numbers. Bartley, and he gets that to drop. So good give and go in transition between Bartley and Morty.
Yep.
Unselfish basketball, and it's a 1-point game now.
St.
Edwards.
John's not going to go away that easy.
Mike Poole at the pull up. No good. Bartley with the rebound.
Good box out by Bartley there, keeping Kindred on his back.
Morty, he'll try his hand from downtown. That's no good. Stretch pass to Edwards in transition,
Nice
and
finish.
Edwards banks it in. Once again, Edwards, that was a little bit of different type of Euro step, kind of awkward. Looked like he once again had a false step there, but he's able to gather himself and pushes the lead back up to 3. And a foul off the ball here, and it looks like it's on Kendrick as he tried to deny Jeremiah Morty any type of space. That's his third personal. Team's fourth. Darnell Landon comes back for the Riptide. Malcolm DeVivier and Jordan Washington will check in for the first time for the Hurricanes. And Daniel Dingles on the floor for the Riptide as well. Here's Bartley. He gets to the rim and he draws the foul on Washington, and Washington trying to plead his case.
He's saying I was straight up. We're going to see in the replay here.
Kind of by the side there, and it's not much positioning there by Jordan.
No, I think they got the call right on that one. If he had kept his arms just straight up, he'd have been all right.
His positioning and his foot were kind of off to the side. You can still draw the foul charge-wise if you're not cemented, your feet that is, but you still have to be straight up. Your vertical has to be different.
Yep. You can't lean over as soon as you start to lean over. Let's just see if he finishes this.
So Bartley knocks down both. Frank's got 6 now. Man from Louisiana Lafayette. And that's a kick ball by Ronaldo on that bounce pass attempt by Clinkscales, and he'll inbound on the baseline. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Washington and count it. Great patience by Jordan as he was able to get Dixon out of position, spun off of Dixon, and he makes it count.
Replay. Halifax, they clear out, give it to him. Nice quick spin, use of the body. He's able to use that shoulder and elbow to keep Dixon on his hip. And he finishes it.
So Washington converts the 3-point play. Dingo with the nice up and under.
Teams keep going back and forth. Looks like Ando's getting ready to check in.
And that shot's no good by Kindred in transition, and that's an easy bucket for Darnell Landon.
Yeah, he was all by himself down the floor.
He was quick with the run out. He didn't make any mistake converting. Back to a tie now. And a back down and foul. As Washington is able to pick up the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
And you see he's taking, you see on the side, Freeman giving him some pointers. See the replay there. Freeman giving him some pointers on the sidelines. So even though he's new to the team, he's not afraid to help some of these young guys, new players, giving them some encouragement and some tips from the side.
As Jordan hits the first. And that foul was on Ronaldo Dixon. That's his fourth, so he'll have to go to the bench. Team's third. Jordan's able to make both free throws, that is. Benny now. He's into the game now for the Riptide. Two-man game with Dingle. Dingle hesitation, blow by, and he barrels into the chest of Kindred.
Kindred wanted the charge there, not going to get it.
He might have a case this time. As Dingle able to draw the foul on
replay.
Joel.
You see the one-on-one.
Dingle.
Now what do we got?
I'm not sure what we got. Maybe a reset, and we got a foul away from the ball. Wow, they call that on.
Jeez, is that on Washington?
I'm not sure who it is, but I know Kindred's got 4 personal, so decision time for Mike Leslie. Team 6. 2-point game. Here's Dingle. And that's a tough shot forced there by Ando. And it looks like we got a foul on the rebound,
Phillips,
and that's on Phillips. So the tough night continuing
for
Phillips as he looked like he ran over the back of the opposition to try to get that offensive rebound. Good positioning and block out by the Canes. Here's the Vivier. Washington. He stumbles, loses the handle.
Yeah.
Riptide had numbers in transition, and converting once again is Darnell Landon, and Mike Leslie calls a timeout. Yeah, not happy at all after going up by as much as 8 points in this quarter.
Yep.
The Riptide fought back to take the lead. We got a few games around the National Basketball League of Canada tonight. Now let's take a look at the Out-of-Town scoreboard. The Out-of-Town scoreboard brought to you by Eastside Mario's.
All right, Vince. Well, we got 2 other games on tap tonight. The Kitchener-Waterloo Titans are hosting the Windsor Express. They got just under a minute left in the first quarter to go, and the Windsor Express have a 29-23 lead on the Titans right now. The other game going on is happening in Sudbury. The Five are taking on the defending champion London Lightning. We have no score in that game as it's just getting underway.
And that's the Out-of-Town scoreboard brought to you by Eastside Mario's. So timeout called by Mike Leslie as the Riptide responded after the Hurricanes' 8-0 run.
Big time.
And we're all tied up now at 63 apiece. Alongside Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand here at the Scotiabank Center. It's game number 3 for the Hurricanes. They come in tonight's matchup 0-2. And the Riptide come in 0-1 after going down to defeat in the last seconds versus the Island Storm, 96-95.
Yep.
On the flip side, the Hurricanes, tough start.
Very tough.
2 losses to the Moncton Magic, who look very good this season.
They sure do.
By 27-point average, that is. So both of these teams looking to get into the win column. We will have a winner for the first time, no matter what happens at the end of regulation or overtime, if it gets that far.
Fans here hoping it'll be Halifax. I'll have to look back in the stats after the game, but I'm not sure.
This is the first time the Hurricanes, it'll be the first time the Hurricanes franchise will go 0-3 to start the season.
That's what I was getting at, yeah. So any of you guys there in internet land, you can get to it quicker than I can. Feel free to look it up.
Oh, it's absolutely right. So a turnover by Robinson Opong. He's checked in for the first time in the second half of the Canes. Here's Binney. Binney trying to get to the rim, kicks out to Landon. Landon, he'll rattle down the three. So Landon, man, he's got 7 points.
Yeah, wide
in
open.
The second half. So this second unit is playing well for Nelson Taroba, has brought them all the way back, and they've taken the lead. 3 ball coming up. That's no good. Ando with the rebound. Ando, dangerous pass to DeVivier. DeVivier, he'll kick it out. The Opong for 3. That's too strong. Can't get it to drop. Rebound, though, by Washington, and he puts the put back off the glass and in.
Good job fighting underneath by Washington.
So great perseverance there by Jordan, staying with it. And it's a 1-point lead now. As Dingle thought Phillips was going to set himself inside for the post-up. Phillips tried to move away. And that's a turnover. Opportunity now for the Hurricanes to take the lead again.
There you see the replay. Washington in that scrum fighting for that ball, paying off with a nice finish. A lot of potential in Washington.
Washington, the mid-range, that's no good. Put back's good there by Edwards. As looked like Frank Bartley mistimed his jump there on that rebound. As Kadar was able to get the easy putback. Back and forth we go. It's a 1-point lead now. Once again, Binney can't handle that bullet from Dingle. So Dingle having some difficulties passing the basketball in the half-court sets here for the Riptide.
Yeah, not having a lot of luck.
And that's back-to-back turnovers committed by Dingle. The Vivier now. Opong, that's a tough pull-up, and he gets that to go down.
That was pretty.
So he had his struggles tonight from beyond the arc, but that was a good-looking pull-up on the baseline for Robinson.
He's Halifax's second lead in scoring right now. He's got 10 points.
Here's Binney. He drives the lane, and that's
Good
kicked
kick.
out of bounds by Washington. Ball will stay with the Riptide. Reset of the shot clock here is 14. Binney will inbound, trying to set this inbound here. 1:11 remaining here in the third. Low-scoring basketball game between these two teams, man.
Yeah, certainly not a barn burner as far as offensive nights go. No, is that Washington?
Yeah, that is Washington down. He's on a bended knee, and let's hope that he's okay. So we have a foul away from the ball.
Didn't see what happened. He's in pain, though.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to get a couple free throws down here on the other end for the Hurricanes.
All right, we'll take those.
So
Let's see the replay here on the inbounds. You see Washington at the bottom of your screen with Phillips.
Oh, yeah, jeez, a forearm to the chest there
and then
by
he puts
Phillips.
his arms out like as if there's any question in what he did. Cheap shot.
Yeah, Randy Phillips is having a tough night, as I mentioned previously before he picked up his second personal, as Washington able to rattle down the first one. He had 19 points in his debut. He was 8 for 13 from the field.
Big body, good player.
It's a different style of basketball game, though, with this Hurricanes team, who plays more of a hybrid game where, the only true center they really have would be Ramel Brown. So he has to guard a small forward or power forward that can move without the basketball. And Opong.
What a debut.
3 up and 3 down.
What a debut.
So he had his struggles in this game, knocking the 3 ball down. And DeVivier is going to be called for the reach. He doesn't agree. But who does? What player really does?
I've never seen one guy
agrees with, committing a personal.
Because the Halifax has got an all-reserve floor out there right now. Getting lots of encouragement. I'm looking over on the bench, and the other starting 5 have been on their feet nonstop, talking to them, giving encouragement. So a lot of energy.
And that's what you need from your veterans, showing that leadership. It's a long season, Matt, and they're going to need that.
Yep.
Some nights your veterans and the guys that you go to may not have it. You're going to have to rely on your reserves to win games. That's how the nature of the beast works. If you're Nelson Taroba, though, on the other hand, you got to be pretty satisfied with your bench as well. They are contributing in particular in this quarter. They are. The Vivier thought about it. He gets to the rim.
Great
Can't
take.
get it to go. Put back is
There's
there.
Washington.
Strong positioning by Jordan Washington. He had a rough home debut. He fouled out of his first game here.
Yeah.
Was ineffective, but tonight he's right the ship. Turnover. Here's Edwards in transition. Edwards, finger roll, and it goes down.
Halifax, that's a 10-point lead, Vince, just like that.
So it's the largest lead, ties their largest lead. As they got off to the races here in this one. Actually, they were behind by 10 when they were able to take the lead.
Whoa.
And that's a foul there. As I might have misspoke, the largest lead for the Hurricanes was 4. This is their largest lead at 10. Edwards thought he got all ball. So Binney will shoot 2 here with 1.8 seconds remaining here in the third. Prayer is no good as Washington tried to bank that one in, but a very encouraging end of this third quarter, Matt.
Very much so, yeah.
As the Hurricanes were able to go on that run.
See some of the highlights there, the tip in by Washington.
Yeah, he's done some work tonight.
He's got some energy too. You see the bench.
You can see it.
Then a nice finish by Edwards. You see the bench again. They're fired up. They're fired up.
So they lead by 9. It's a 9-point lead for the Hurricanes entering the fourth quarter, but things look like it was going to go back and forth, or a little bit of dire there as we had a little bit of a low in scoring by both of these teams. Multiple lead changes, but it's been back and forth. We have 10 ties and 8 lead changes throughout this basketball game, and both teams have enjoyed a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and this has been this third quarter. This was Halifax's largest scoring quarter. This is the biggest outburst so far this season. They went for 36 that quarter, folks. Outscored the St. John Riptide by 12. So, very positive, especially coming out of the half. You got to wonder what it was. I don't know if it's something that was changed up. If Coach Leslie has found maybe some sets or rotations that are working well for him. But Halifax looking real good so far. Hopefully they can finish strong for this game.
Strong efforts tonight by multiple players. As Joel Kindred's got 14. He leads the way. Jordan Washington, he's got 14. Malcolm DeVivier, he's got 9. Kadar Edwards, he's got 8. Those are reserves players that are making major contributions for Mike Leslie. Gabe Freeman's got 8. Mike Poole's got 7. Clint Scales 7. Brown's got 7. And Ando has yet to score. But it's been the effort of this team collectively has gotten this 9-point lead, but it's a long way to go from securing their first victory. We have 12 minutes remaining. If you're Nelson Taroba, you can be happy with some of the efforts from your team as well. If you look on their side, Kemi Osei's got 13, had a relatively quiet third quarter. Early's got 12, Morty's got 9, and then the bench, pretty solid contribution from the bench there as they were able to keep this game relatively close. At one point, they took the lead in the third quarter after the Hurricanes went on an 8-0 run to start the third.
Yeah, and it's been with the exception of once the Halifax took it back, it's been a fight the whole way for both teams. And St. John's not going to give up. They've got guys that can score. They've got Osei. They've got Arrington. They've got guys that can put the ball in the hoop. So the game far from over.
So the Riptide will start the fourth with possession here. Trailing by 9. That's turned over to Vivier in transition. He'll pull it out. Swings it to Opong for 3, and that's deep, and bang! He knocks it down. That was from way outside. You want to say downtown, and that's probably not the word you need to use. That was almost from the parking lot as he stepped into that 3-ball. Early now to the rim, and he banks it in. So it's back to a 10-point lead for the Hurricanes. If you're just joining us, it's been back and forth here. Alongside Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand. That 3-ball's no good, but the putback there is good by Edwards.
Looks like Osi got just enough. He might have gotten a piece of that shot from Opong.
And we like to thank all our American friends. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's right.
We have some professional basketball here at Scotiabank, and Early once again gets to the rim, and he converts. So back-to-back buckets to the rim there by Early to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's not going to let up. Osi playing some good tight defense there.
5 seconds to shoot. Here's the Vivier. He'll put up the 3. That's too strong. Rebound by Edwards. The Vivier, another look. Too strong once again. Edwards with the rebound inside of Washington. Count it. Man, that was great awareness and outstanding resilience on the offensive boards there by Kadar Edwards.
Fantastic set there by Halifax. You're right, good job by Kadar Edwards. Getting those offensive rebounds 2 in a row, and the payoff.
To the rim, left hand, and he gets
very nice take.
The finger roll to go down as Arrington.
Saying he can score.
And Nelson Taroba, a one-man cheering squad here at Scotiabank Center, trying to cheer on his team. Here's the Vivier. He loses the handle. Phillips turns it over, though, as Opong stepped in front of that one. The Vivier for 3.
There it is.
3 up, 3 down by the Vivier.
He can shoot it.
So he'll continue to put the ball up from beyond the arc. He had a good look, a nice catch and shoot, and he knocks that down.
Not frustrated by his 2 misses earlier.
Osei can't get that one to fall. The Vivier with the rebound. The reserves here doing an outstanding job for Mike Leslie.
Very good.
It's a 13-point lead. It's their largest, ties their largest. Washington, he's got 5 seconds to shoot. Washington, that rims in and out. Rebound by Phillips. Osei to the rim, clear path. And that shot was forced, a tough shot by Endo, but he turns it over. Osei behind the defense. Morty finds him. He loses the handle, though.
Ooh, Halifax got lucky there.
Man, they dodged a bullet there, Matt.
Oh, man.
As Osei had a free path to the rim.
Yep.
Put up a very auspicious shot attempt at the glass. Couldn't get it to fall. Then couldn't handle that pass when he was behind the defense. But the Hurricanes.
We'll check in the starting lineup by the looks of it.
And this reserve get a much-needed hand here by the Scotiabank faithful.
They played fantastic minutes.
Man, they were outstanding in the middle part of the third and the early going of the fourth here.
And just as entertaining as it was to watch them play as well as they did, it was equally as entertaining looking over at the bench and seeing how excited that those 5 starters were. The veterans were getting, they were on their feet the whole time. So that speaks to the chemistry of the team.
Absolutely. So a technical foul was called. Mike Poole was able to knock down the technical. It will be Hurricane possession. They're enjoying their largest lead. It's 14 now. And with an opportunity to increase it. Clint Scales crossed the timeline.
I think it's safe to say that the momentum is with Halifax right now.
And it's up to the starters now to continue it. Here's Kindred. That's a tough shot. That's in and out. Rebound by Early. Arrington now in transition. Crosses over. Kendrick gets to the rim. Can't get it to go, and the flush was almost there by Dixon, but Arrington stays with it. Poole inside. Jumper, no good. The floater away from the basket by Freeman. He couldn't get it to drop. Here's Morty. Morty, left hand, that's a tough shot. Can't get it to fall. Morty gets it back. He's looking for the screen. That's a terrible pass though by Morty. Try to throw it through a body there. And here's Kindred though, back the other way and had an opportunity. And he couldn't get that one to go down.
Halifax has got a comfortable enough lead now. They don't need to be jacking threes. Can use the clock to your advantage, especially when you get a turnover like that.
And it looks like Gabe Freeman might have bumped Morty. Yeah. Forced him to step on the sideline, and Mike Leslie looks like he's going to call a timeout. That's his third. Actually, he doesn't call timeout. Wanted to know how many timeouts he had left, so we'll play on. Here's Arrington. Looks like
push off there.
Clint Scales was able to get a hand in and force that tough attempt. And it's last touch by the Riptide, and the ball will go over to the Hurricanes. Canes with a 12-point lead, the largest has been 14. Starting unit trying to pick up where the reserves left off.
Yeah, and they were hot when they left off.
Here's Brown. Kick out, Poole for three. That's too strong. Rebound by Freeman. The putback is there. Great positioning by Freeman as he was able to muscle early underneath the basket. And he converts with the putback. Early hesitation. Freeman falls and he hits the jumper. So the feet tied up there. Freeman.
Yeah.
Not early able to convert.
Nice move by Early.
Clint Scales now. He's looking for the pick and roll. Freeman, the pump fake. That's too strong. And on the run out is Bartley. And he converts the easy layup. And
now the timeout.
Mike Leslie wants to talk it over now.
Yeah. Not a bad choice. You had a 14-point lead, just dwindled down to 10. You want to stop it now before they can start getting any closer, right?
Yeah, break up a little bit of this momentum being garnered by the Riptide.
Yep.
So Mike Leslie calls a timeout. Nelson Taroba talking it over with his assistant in Murray. Still lots of time left, man. We got 6:06 remaining in regulation.
Yep.
This one is not in the books yet.
No, 10-point lead in the NBLC with 6 minutes. That's nothing.
Yeah, and with a relatively new squad.
That's right.
In the Hurricanes, we're still in search of win number one, and we don't really know what we have down the stretch.
That's right.
But we're going to have something, whether we're going to have a team that's going to fight through adversity and get it done on their home court, or we're going to have a letdown. Either way, we're going to have an outcome.
That's right. And Halifax has done a good job. I mean, coach has got to be happy with the minutes that he got there, especially that third quarter and the beginning of this fourth quarter from that reserve set. You got to have a lot of confidence in that, knowing that if you've got your starters out now, if things don't click, you might
go back to those guys.
Go right back to them, right?
Absolutely. Hurricanes outscored the Riptide by 12 in that third quarter. They're outscoring the Riptide by 1, but it's been back and forth, and you can't allow a team to come back on your home floor when you have them pretty much where you
want them. Ropes. Yeah. And you got guys like Early scoring well. He's got 18 now. He had a great just before the timeout there, a couple sets before the timeout. He had a nice move. You saw on Freeman tied his feet up and was able to hit the nice jumper.
If you're Mike Leslie, statistically, offensively, you got to be happy after the slow start. Shooting 45% from the field, 36 from downtown, 13 three balls have gone down, but if we often not, they're unable to pull this one out or hold on to this lead.
And Halifax doesn't need to rush anything right now. They've got the 10-point lead. They can play their game. They can take a bit of time and use that clock. Nice touch by Freeman, the veteran.
That's what you get from Gabe Freeman. It looked like that was a shot with high difficulty, but not for Gabe Freeman as he was able to convert. And the ball comes right into our broadcast area. Now I'm dribbling. I
With
give
the
a
handle, showing off the handle.
Yeah, able to give the no-look left-handed pass there to Brent Stalker, and he has the basketball. Like I said, I'm glad to be sitting here between me and you and not out there.
Yeah.
Last basketball game I played was here at the Scotiabank Center. It was for a high school provincial championship.
That was a while ago.
And I'll be happy to say I got it done. We won.
You want to tell the folks what year that was?
Oh, it was a few years
Yeah,
back.
I was going to say, at least a few.
Oh, we got it done in 93. We had our crosstown rivals. There's Clint Scales now. Poole. He'll drive to the basket.
Oof,
Kick
nowhere to
out to
go.
Clint Scales. 5 seconds to shoot. Poole forced the tough shot. That's no good. Rebound by Early.
Nice defense there by St. John. Didn't give Halifax anything.
Morty. Hand off to Bartley for 3. Bartley tried to draw the contact. Dixon with the rebound and a put back and in.
Familiar play. Long-time Hurricane, Ronaldo Dixon.
He was able to get Brown up in the air. Back to a 10-point lead for the Hurricanes. Here's Kindred. Three seconds to shoot. Clint Scales, and that's knocked out of bounds. So it looked like we'll have a reset. Nelson Taroba wondering why there isn't a shot clock violation. So we'll have
replay there.
1 second remaining on the shot clock.
Ooh.
Clint Scales will inbound on the baseline.
And St. John really tightening up.
Poole, 3 balls no good. Rebound by Arrington. Here's Arrington in the open floor. Arrington trying to get to the rim, and that's rejected from behind by Mike Poole. So Arrington racing up the court there.
You see Mike Poole, great positioning, good patience too to not leave his feet too early.
And it looks like we might have a foul away from the ball, as it looked like Gabe Freeman avoided his 4th personal. But he finally picks up his 4th away from the ball, so it's on Freeman.
Great defensive play there, getting back to Mike Poole. He does such a good job of getting in the passing lanes and getting his hand up on those blocks when no one knows he's around.
Early baseline,
Ooh,
he banks in the reversal.
That was a real nice
That's
take.
a nice looking drive to the basket by Early.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Yes, he's got 20 now. He's the high man on 8 of 13 shooting. Kindred's, that's denied.
Ooh, geez,
Looked like a
was off the-
goaltend.
That looks a real lot like
Arrington in transition, left hand's too strong. He tried to avoid
St. John with that offensive rebound.
Freeman.
I'm not sure how that wasn't a goaltend, Vince.
Yep, it looked like it was off the glass. Early, he'll try his hand for 3. It's short, and that's
gonna be
batted out of
Halifax ball.
bounds by Dixon.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure
Wow.
where that call came from, but it looked like directional thinking in physics. It looked like Ramel Brown tapped that one out of bounds, but nevertheless,
Dixon, you mean?
Dixon, yes, sorry, it's Dixon. Because it wasn't Brown. They say it was Ramel Brown, but it looks like Ronaldo Dixon did. Here's Early on the hesitation. Short. Rebound by Kindred, and that's a good stop there.
Yes, sir.
They needed that stop.
Halifax needs to come back with something here.
Just over 3 minutes remaining here in regulation. Hurricanes with an 8-point lead. Good offensive set off of this half court. Clint Scales for 3. That's no good.
Great rebound. Oh.
Poole fought for it. Ketmi Osei came up with it. Osei in transition. And Brown fouls him in transition.
Yeah.
Not in the act of shooting, so that's a pretty good foul by Ramel Dixon.
Yeah, I think Brown wanted that. Bringing in Washington
I don't
now.
want to say Dixon and Brown. I think they're 2 of a kind. So Brown
used to
will
being on the same team.
Yeah, Brown will exit the game. Jordan Washington's in now. Bartley with the inbound. Here's Arrington. Arrington, spin move, fade away. That's a tough shot. He's left it short at the rim. So that's what Mike Leslie wanted. forcing that tough shot, getting the rebound. Trying to convert now on the offensive side of the Canes. Spin. Strong, too strong there by Washington. Maybe one too many moves on Phillips. And battling for the ball, there is Joel Kendrick, and he outplayed Frank Bartley. So the Riptide getting stops when they need them, but being very careless on the other end offensively.
Yep. And you got to think, Coach, if they come away with this one with an L, Coach Taroba will be addressing that.
Well, the storyline's got to be the 19 turnovers thus far. Freeman can't get the teardrop to go, but he gets his own rebound. That's great hustle there by Gabe. Reset now.
That veteran presence that Halifax desperately needed.
Clint Scales will hold here. We'll go under 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Washington. 5 seconds to shoot. Washington. No good. Rebound by Poole. Keeps it alive. Poole will put it up for three. In and out. Rebound by Dixon.
Halifax struggling to score.
Man, oh man, if Poole was able to reach that one to go down. Kimmy, count it.
Oh, they'll give him two.
As Osei gets the continuation.
It's a two-position game now, Vince.
Yeah, lots of time. Yeah, we're still not out of the woods here.
See the replay. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely a foul. He reached once and twice.
Man, he might have got him twice, but he only picks up one personal on that act. But it's his fourth. So Washington with 4. It's the team's 4th. Kimmy Osei looking to convert the three-point play.
Now you knew St. John wasn't going to go away.
No, absolutely not.
So again, Halifax needs to use the clock in their favor. 1.5 minutes now.
So Osei's got 15 for the Riptide on 6 of 12 shooting from the field.
You got to come away with at least 2 here.
Freeman for 3.
3 will do the trick.
And Freeman knocks it down. A much-needed 3-ball for the Hurricanes.
A little bit of breathing room.
Man, things are getting desperate. But they need to stop here defensively. Osei turns it over. Freeman in transition. Kicks it to Kendrick. Kendrick lost the handle. That's blocked there by Osei. Osei reaches though. Man, he got back in transition, and Mike Leslie's all fired up. He thought there might have been a foul that needed to be called as Kendrick was knocked to the floor. But nevertheless, it will be Hurricanes possession. a fresh 24 seconds, and 58.8 seconds remaining on the game clock. So a very important possession coming up here.
Oh yeah, and we've been talking a lot about how great Osei's been playing offensively, but his defense has been fantastic, especially the second half. He's playing a great game, gritty game.
Costly turnover, and let's see if the Hurricanes can convert. Clint Scales, Freeman for 3, and that's too strong. Batted around, rebound by Phillips. Here's Arrington in transition. Arrington trying to get to the rim. He's cut off by Poole. Arrington again, relentless. He goes up and down, no call. But Mike Poole with the great defensive play.
Great defensive play. Didn't leave his feet, didn't reach.
So that should do it right there. Game number 1 will go into the books. And I tell you, Matt, that was a hard-fought game between these two teams.
This Osei not letting up now.
Osei will commit the foul. They have a few fouls to give here. But the Hurricanes will pick up their first W. The Hurricane faithful on their feet with 4.1 seconds to go here.
And I tell you what, they were treated to a fantastic game of basketball. Both teams played very well, played very hard. And that's what you want when you come out on a cold Thursday night. You want a good game of basketball.
And the victory warms up the Hurricanes faithful. As minority owner Don Mills gets his wish, happy birthday, Mr. Mills. Yeah. That's your gift. Hurricanes get it done, 96-88. Balanced scoring by the Hurricanes. 6 players in double digits, Matt.
Yeah, it was great. That was going to be the question. Who was going to be the guy step up? I don't know if we've got the guy yet who's going to be the go-to guy, but man, we got a lot of candidates of guys that can put the ball in the net.
So that'll do it here at the Scotiabank Center. The Hurricanes pick up their first victory. They're 1-2 now on the season. The Riptide will go to 0-2. So for my partner, Matt Elliott, and the Silver Vision crew, I'm Vince Williams saying so long from Halifax, and we'll see you next Thursday when the Hurricanes will be back in action here at the Scotiabank Center.